This was the year Arsenal reclaimed their place at the peak of the world stage, operating with a level of intensity that few clubs can maintain. The campaign was a relentless dual-front success, with the team pushing their domestic rivals to the limit while simultaneously climbing the European ladder. That domestic momentum was built on the road, secured through disciplined performances against West Ham and hard-fought victories over Burnley. But as the season moves toward its conclusion, the game changes. It becomes a funnel, where every step forward narrows the space to breathe and shrinks the margin for error. For a team competing at this scale, the final weeks mean every individual action carries an exponentially heavier psychological burden. Nowhere was that pressure more concentrated than the European stage, as the Gunners fought their way into the UEFA Champions League final. The path to the final was grueling, requiring the team to break down a stubborn Atletico Madrid side in a tense, narrow 1-0 semi-final win. Shutting out an elite defensive opponent like Atletico required absolute collective unity and a focus that didn't waver for 90 minutes. Arriving at the precipice of immortality means the squad was already carrying the compounding fatigue of a season where they had to be perfect just to survive. All that weight was funneled into the Puskas Arena for a final showdown against Paris Saint-Germain. The match began with a sudden, explosive release of pre-game nerves, as Arsenal seized control of the narrative from the opening whistle. It was Kai Havertz who provided the catalyst, delivering a clinical strike in the 5th minute that gave Arsenal the earliest possible hope. For those first few minutes, the sheer momentum of the lead made the game feel like it was already tilting in Arsenal's favor, right before PSG began to settle into their counterattack. PSG quickly pushed back, turning what began as a potential coronation into a long, physical battle of attrition. The game shifted for good when Ousmane Dembele found the equalizer, a moment that stalled Arsenal's rhythm and reset the trajectory of the match. As the clock ran out at 1-1, the spectacle of the stadium faded, leaving only the physical reality of the grass and the exhausting prospect of extra time. In extra time, tactics are secondary to endurance. It becomes a question of which players can still function under the weight of total physical depletion. Eventually, the funnel reaches its narrowest point, the penalty shootout. It is a strange conclusion to 10 months of work, reducing a massive, complex campaign down to a few isolated kicks from 12 yards. PSG held their nerve through the final round, taking a 4-3 shootout victory and the European crown. The campaign didn't end with a tactical collapse, but with the simple, unyielding math of a single missed penalty. The emotional hangover from Paris followed the team home, bleeding directly into the final match of the domestic season. The physical toll was clear on the final day, as a tired Arsenal side suffered a bitter 2-1 loss to Crystal Palace. But even in defeat, the connection between the management and the fans remained intact, focusing on how far the club had traveled. Mikel Arteta spent those final moments absorbing the collective disappointment of the room, already reframing this year's pain as the foundation for the next. Reaching the end of the funnel and surviving that pressure is the specific type of experience required to eventually win it all. What are your thoughts on how this season will change the squad for next year? Let us know in the comments.